Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live it as we enter the year 2025. A lot of big name free agents have signed in the MLB. There are still some that are available. Let's see where they signed. But Bradford Doolittle of ESPN today wrote his MLB top 10 starting rotation New Year's edition. So, right now, who have the 10 best rotations in baseball, at least according to him? He mentions that, there's some big name, not maybe, well, pretty big name free agents out there. Of course, rookie Sasaki. A lot of teams are going to be going after him. Jack Flaherty, to name a couple. But I thought we'd look at who he picks for his top five. So fifth comes the New York Yankees. Of course, led by Garrett Cole. Maybe a little bit of a down season last year compared to others. Is 34 years old. But Max Fried signed to a huge free agent deal, and he has been, awesome of late. One of the best left-handed starters in the game. Carlos Rodon rebounded a bit last year. Although I wouldn't fully rely on him to have a great season. But Luis Heel, awesome rookie year. And, they have depth right now. Either Schmidt or Stroman could be that fifth, or they could go six deep. But Stroman, there has been, a few reports that the Yankees had been looking to trade him. Hasn't been done. But yeah, very solid 1 through 5 for sure. Fourth, and I thought this was a little low, although there's some question marks and some guys that aren't back yet. And that guy I'm mostly talking about is Clayton Kershaw. We know really for the past few years he's been signing 1 year deals, and it seems like his options are either retire or come back to the Dodgers. I mean, some rumors that maybe I'll join his hometown Rangers, but really retire and Dodgers are two options. So if he were to come back, strengthen the rotation even more. But yeah, I guess you could say there's injury questions with this team. Of course, Tyler Glasnow really has never had a full healthy season. Gonsolin and Dustin May didn't pitch at all last season. Shohei Ohtani, of course, didn't pitch at all last season. After having Tommy John surgery, Yamamoto missed a couple months. Blake Snell seems to be a lot of red flags for a guy who has a two-time Cy Young winner and was absolutely marvelous to end last season. But man, you always got to question if he's, we're gonna see a Snell who can stay in the strike zone and not walk, let's say, 4 or 5, 9 batters per 9 innings. Third, the Atlanta Braves. Chris Sale finally won his first Cy Young, was in the running a lot of years with the White Sox earlier on in his career. Not listed here, his Spencer Strider, one of the most dominant starting pitchers. Of course, missed almost all last season with injury. Now he's not expected to be back opening day, but that would obviously be a huge boon to their starting rotation once he's there. I don't really expect Grant Holmes to be a part of their rotation. They have Bryce Elder. They also have AJ Smith-Shawver and Hurston Waldrep as depth pieces who may start out in the minors. But can Reynaldo Lopez repeat what was an outstanding first season with the Atlanta Braves? Second, the Philadelphia Phillies, who acquired Jesus Luzardo from the Miami Marlins, strengthening the rotation even more. Although he didn't pitch too well last season, he definitely has, the stuff to be top of the line starter. He was in 2023. But yes, Sanchez, Wheeler, Nola, Suarez. Wheeler arguably been maybe the top pitcher in the game over the past 3 years. Also have Andrew Painter. Gotta hope he can stay healthy. But yes, the Wheeler, really four guys who would be top two options in many rotations. Luzardo, if he's on his A game as well. And man, it's gotta hurt Mariners fans to see them first. It doesn't hurt because they know that they always have a chance to win because of starting pitching that can limit the opposing offenses. Of course, What makes it hurt is the fact that their offense has been so poor that they couldn't even be a postseason team last year. With this top five, you see all the ERA. The highest ERA last season was Luis Castillo with a 3.64, and he's had some really awesome years with the Reds and the Mariners as well. Um, yeah, it's an outstanding starting rotation. Maybe that sixth guy who is Emerson Hancock. Depth might not be a strong point, which is part of the reason why maybe they haven't traded one of these five. Although, if I were them, I would definitely consider it to strengthen the offense, which is definitely in need of being strengthened because, again, it's a shame that they couldn't reach the postseason with this rotation and the rotation mostly staying healthy for much of the year. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see any of those five in the top 10 of AL Cy Young voting next year. But what are your thoughts? Do you agree with Bradford Doolittle's top five? I'll quickly name 6 through 10. 6, he has the Arizona Diamondbacks. I personally would have. I don't know who I drop out, but man, that Diamondbacks rotation looks really good with Corbin Burns to go along with Gallen and Kelly. Seventh, the Minnesota Twins. Eighth, the Texas Rangers. Of course, a lot's going to depend on how much DeGrom pitches. Ninth, the Houston Astros. 10th, the Chicago Cubs. And then he has five who could crack the list: Rays, Royals, Red Sox, Brewers, and the Mets. So, do you agree that the Mariners have the best starting rotation? I certainly do. I think the Braves might have been a little high at number three, but I guess a lot depends on when Spencer Strider will return and, will we see him at his best. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.